Adebayo.
Alonzo Mourning.
Bam Adebayo.
Alonzo Mourning. Bam Adebayo.
Alonzo Mourning.
103, 102, Boston. Charlotte out of timeout.
Get off. Bam for three. Mourning. The shot. Bam wins the game with a three.
On this episode of NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons, we compare two impact players that made their mark in South Beach.
This player is hands down one of the best two-way bigs in the entire NBA.
His defensive dominance not only made Miami a contender, but it helped pave his way to the Hall of Fame.
Good luck trying to score on these two. Many have tried and learned the hard way.
We are eager to present to you Bam Adebayo and Alonzo Mourning. I'm Winston.
I'm Maurice.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Ben.
And we're here to talk NBA
Now and Then.
So we have this unique comparison where both players are tied to the same franchise. Do we remember another comparison where we compared two stars that played significant time for the same team?
Well, I mean, the easy answer is Jason Tatum and Paul Pierce.
I think that's the only one I could think of that we've done so far.
I can't think of another one from the same team, so I think Lucas is right on with that one.
Well, technically there is one other, though he never played for the team. He was acquired by the Memphis Grizzlies, Dwight Howard and Jaren Jackson Jr.
Good one.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, forgot about that one. I had to
Awesome.
think about that one for a second. I was going through my head. I'm like, which one of these comparisons did we ever? Yeah, I think those are the only two.
You know what, you guys? There's an obvious one. We should know this.
What?
Iverson
and Harden.
I didn't think about that one.
Yeah, Iverson
Very,
and Harden.
very good.
They both played for the
Yeah.
Sixers.
There we go. See, I got the deep dive. Ben got us with the save though.
Well, no, I wouldn't have gotten it if you didn't talk about like the future.
Okay.
I was thinking prime.
All right, fellas. So why are we talking about Bam Adebayo and Alonzo Mourning? Let's go with Maurice.
Two bigs who played for Miami, but also played for really good colleges. They have really good culture within themselves. Kentucky and Georgetown. Georgetown may not be the most competitive these days, but in the 90s when Alonzo was there and Dikembe Mutombo, may he rest in peace also, they were a powerhouse. Both of them.
Very well. Yes, good point there. And now, Ben, what about you?
Kind of what you said, Winston, already. They both played their entire prime in Miami, and it doesn't look like Bam got a supermax, so it doesn't look like Bam's going anywhere.
All right, well, good insight there. And now, Lucas, what about you?
For me, it's the fact that they're both defensive big men. Now, when we get to the stats, we'll see how they're different doing it, but they're both like perennial all defensive teams, runners up for defensive player of the year or getting defensive player of the year. They're elite in that regard. Another thing that I've noticed when I was looking at the stats is they're underrated as offensive players during their prime, which we'll talk about more later.
Absolutely. Nice pull on the defensive side. So, fellas, it's time to talk about Bam Bam. Before he got that nickname, he was born Idris Femi Adebayo in Newark, New Jersey on July 18th, 1997. Anyone know how he got the nickname Bam?
It had to do with like an AAU team. He got it like at a young age, right? On the basketball court. That's what I think I remember hearing.
You said Bam Bam earlier, so I'm going to say maybe it's a Flintstones reference.
Yeah, I'm going to say Flintstones as well.
Sounds like someone watched their cartoons. So, yes, he did. He got his nickname Bam after he flipped over a table while watching the Flintstones as a toddler. Good pull, guys.
Okay.
All right. So he lived in Newark, New Jersey for the first 7 years of his life. But then his mom moved them down south for a better life. So he grew up in a trailer home where life was not easy for him and his mom, who would walk to work every day at a meat farm up the road to pay the bills. Unfortunately, his dad was not in the picture very much. Bam admits to not being very good at hoops when he started. By the time he was 13, though, his physical gifts stood out. Who can guess Bam's height when he was 13 years old?
I'm going to guess because he's got some guard skills, so I'm going to go small. I'm going to say like 5'9".
I feel like 6'3" is an appropriate height.
I'm going to go 6'1".
Okay. So the closest would be Lucas. The answer is, fellas, he was 6 feet 6 inches.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Dear
13-year-old, right?
That's fine.
Now, all right, fellas, let's go to his high school side now. For him, it was not just about sports for Bam. According to University of Kentucky website, Bam was an honor roll student. Quick trivia. Which of these high school clubs was Bam Adebayo a member of? The options are A, rowing, B, glee, or C, poetry.
Poetry.
I'm going to say Glee. He looks like he could sing.
Glee? And then
That's what you said. Hey, you never know.
You never know, right? It's true.
He does have a deep voice, so I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I would have said like a chess club if that was an option, but I will say I'll say rowing.
Rowing, awesome. Well, one of you is right. I do like the chess team. Wish I can do that one. But it was poetry, actually, fellas.
Oh, okay.
Poetry was the right answer for that one.
Okay.
Nice job,
Okay.
though, fellas. Nice job.
I mean, he sounds like he could sing a little bit. Who knows?
Never know.
NBA players and singing, not outrageous.
He seems pretty down to earth and humble, so that was my reasoning for entering that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I might have said poetry too, but Ben said it first, so I had to, I had to change it up.
All right. We'll continue with his high school years. He attended 2 high schools, 3 years at Northside High in Pinetown, North Carolina, and 1 year at High Point Christian Academy his senior year. His junior year, he averaged 32 and 18. When he transferred, his numbers dropped. All right, fellas. Over, under. Here you go, Lucas. This is your chance now.
Okay, let's go for it.
All right. His points per game as a high school senior, 20. Over, under. What do you got?
Well, you said that it dropped, but he got picked up by Kentucky, so I'm still going to say over.
I'm going to say over as well.
I'll say under because if he averaged 32 and 18 as a junior, he probably got recruited by like whatever North Carolina's version of like
You mean UNC Duke?
No, what's the where's the school like Cooper Flagg went to that everyone goes to? Ben Simmons, Montverde Academy,
Montenegro.
Yeah. I feel like he went to the North Carolina of that. I'm sure he got recruited, so I'm gonna say he probably only averaged like 17 or 18.
Very well. So one person got it correct.
Oh.
Ben, that's you. He averaged 18.9. So Ben, you guys were close though, okay? But his rebounding numbers went down as well to 13 boards per contest. He did help lead his team to a state championship appearance as a senior. So some good things there, right? So guys, what stands out to you about Bam's pre-college years?
32 and 18 is wild because I'm sure he was on a good high school team. It sounds like that got him recruited to Kentucky, I imagine, those years where he was just like dominating whatever local school that was. So yeah, going to Kentucky is just like, I mean, all eyes are on you. So that's what kind of stands out, I would say. That's what got him to Kentucky.
Awesome.
We talk about the family situations with these players, and growing up in New Jersey is completely different than growing up in North Carolina. And the fact that his mom had to go work at a meat farm and having to walk there, that had to have developed some type of strong work ethic within him, seeing his mom doing that.
I'm gonna go back to the poetry club. I would like to hear Bam say some poetry after a post game during a post game press conference. So, hey, it'll be different. I'll say that much. But anyway, I would say just the overall his skill set, because I do remember watching a little bit of early Bam just on like ESPN and other places, and he played a lot of guard before going to Kentucky, where Calipari kind of told him to be a big man. I do remember that. I would like to see more of that, skill set on Miami, just bringing up the ball. As we see right now, at least in the Olympics, Bam's been shooting more threes too, so he's still elevating his game as we speak.
Very nice grab, Maurice. So now, on to Bam's tenure at the University of Kentucky. Before taking a court under John Calipari, Bam got some special training from a former NBA player. In the summer between his high school graduation and his freshman year as a Wildcat, this former Detroit Piston champion, also a UNC alumni, showed Bam how to play against taller players. Who can guess Bam's special trainer?
It's Rasheed Wallace.
Okay, that's one answer. And let's go with Ben. Detroit.
Yeah, UNC. He's the only guy that went to UNC. It's Rasheed Wallace.
All right. And then Maurice?
I love the fact that Lucas said that so confidently.
He's the only guy from Detroit that I ever knew that went to UNC.
But Lucas is right. I've heard this. Yeah, it's Rasheed Wallace.
You guys know your basketball, but that is the correct answer. Lucas jumped right in there. He didn't even have to say.
I know my stuff. What can I say?
It's interesting because it should have been Ben Wallace, because Ben Wallace was an
Ben Wallace is a closer, but what offensive? I mean, but like you can only learn defense from Ben, not offense.
Yeah.
She is a two-way player.
Nice, guys. Nicely done. In a Sports Illustrated article, AAU coach Kevin Graves reached out to Rasheed Wallace to guide Bam's transition from high school to college and had this to say. In high school, Bam is 6'10", playing against 6'4" players. You get to Kentucky, everybody is 6'10". Rasheed taught Bam all the leveraging moves to use against the taller guys. At Kentucky, he also learned how to take more jumpers and how to handle hard double teams. All right, fellas, let's do an over-under again. Bam's points per game average in his only season at Kentucky. Here we go. Over or under 11.
I'll go first here, and I will say 11 seems really low. I'm going to go over.
Under, because he kind of was barely a lottery pick.
Okay, let's go with Lucas.
Well, Kentucky guys never score that much because Calipari's really good about spreading the wealth. And he's not much of an offensive player anyway. And on that team that had De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, I'm going to say under.
Under. So we got 2 unders, 1 over, right?
Mm-hmm.
One's correct. Maurice.
Really?
Over. Yes, he was over.
Yeah,
13 points,
low.
guys. And he averaged 8 rebounds and 1.5 block as well. So here's some teammate trivia now, guys. Can anyone name the other Kentucky teammate who played with Bam? And you have some choices here.
I mean, I've already named like 3.
You named 3, but we have some more choices here, right? We have what I think you might have named one that's mentioned here, but let's see. Let's hear what you got, Lucas.
Well, we said De'Aaron Fox, right? Because they were both drafted the same year, right? So then, no, wait a second. Was Bam drafted in 2016 or 2017? Like, I need help on that.
I think 17.
Okay, so yeah, same year as De'Aaron Fox. Okay. So, Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox. I'm trying to remember who else was on that team. Was Trey Lyles in that draft? I think it was Trey Lyles. I'll say Trey Lyles.
2 out of 3 that we have so far. Let's go with see, maybe Ben can give us a third one.
Is it?
Wait, did Malik Monk play on the Heat?
No. He's just saying college teammates, period.
Teammate trivia. So
Yeah,
basically,
Malik Monk was a teammate.
At Kentucky, right?
College.
Mm-hmm.
We're not counting Miami.
Man, I'm really confusing Duke players with Kentucky.
I'm trying to remember that
take
draft.
a fist to that, Ben.
Yeah, it's like the jersey color too.
I'm going.
I give you a hint. Starts with the letter I. First name, last name starts with a B.
All right, I got
Ignas
nothing.
Belech.
I got nothing.
Ignas Belech. He's a German player, right? He played on the Sixers briefly.
All right, you guys ready for it? You ready for it? Isaiah Briscoe.
Oh, he barely played in the NBA.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Come on, that's not fair.
It does count, but
it does count. But like, come on, nobody's going to remember Isaiah Briscoe.
It's an obscure name
from 8 years ago.
No offense, Isaiah Briscoe.
But good picks, guys. Good picks. Now check this out. Per ESPN stat and info, Bam became the second Kentucky player with a double-double in each of his first 2 tournament games. Fellas, do you know who was the first to do this at Kentucky? He's been trending lately. Say that.
Well, that's easy. You shouldn't have told us that.
You shouldn't have. It's Cat.
Who?
Because I was thinking Willie Cauley-Stein. That's who I was initially thinking.
Wow.
But then you said trending, so it's Cat.
I'm going to let the other guys chime in. Let's see what you say, Maurice.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm just recording, Karl Anthony Towns was just traded. So, yeah, I'm going to go Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay, and Ben?
Yeah, the same.
He left New York, guys.
Julius Randle.
Yes. Forget about the 2-way transaction right there, right? Good friend
with that one.
I forgot Randall went to Kentucky.
Very good, guys.
Okay.
Good,
that was a good one. You got us.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Unfortunately, though, Bam and the Wildcats made a deep run into the NCAA tournament in 2017, but suffered a heartbreaking loss to the NC Tar Heels. Not long after that disappointing loss, Bam entered his name into the NBA draft, where he was selected by the Miami Heat.
With the 14th pick in the 2017 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Bam Adebayo from the University of Kentucky.
A third Wildcat comes off the board in the lottery portion of the draft. Bam Adebayo, a 7'3" wingspan. His given name is Ed Reese. He became Bam as a young tyke when he was watching the Flintstones and decided it would be a good idea to flip over a coffee table.
I've been there. I thought it was smart for me to put my fingertip in a socket that didn't have a light bulb in it.
Is that where that red suit came from?
Yes, indeed.
So, what comes to your mind when you reflect on Bam's college years?
As that clip was playing, I had to look it up. Bam actually played on a really good Kentucky team. According to Basketball Reference, well, the college one, there were 7 NBA players on that Kentucky team. Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, Isaiah Briscoe, like you mentioned, Wayman Gabriel.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Mulder, and Isaac Humphreys. I do remember watching this team on TV. Kind of was rooting for them to win it, but, the thing with Kentucky is they have a lot of one-and-done players, so it's hard to, establish a winning culture every year besides just having talent. He was a really good prospect. I'm surprised he dropped to 14, to be honest.
You could make the argument he wasn't like the top 2 or 3 offensive players on the team, but he's definitely the second best NBA offensive player in that group now.
It's hard with the one and done, but Kentucky still does win championship. Like they won with Karl Anthony Towns, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
They haven't won in a while. That's why Calipari left for Arkansas.
Yeah. So it is hard. Like you even need just like a sophomore. I know they had Quickly stay an extra year, the 1 year, but then they couldn't play in the tournament because of the COVID. I do remember that draft. That draft, there were so many players drafted from Kentucky. That's what stands out.
Awesome, guys. Nice reflection. But did you guys know Bam was on the same AAU team as Dennis Smith Jr.?
No, but I mean, at this point in this generation, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, a lot of those players in playing high school and AAU teams together.
Now, let's talk about Zoe. But before he got that nickname, he was born Alonzo Mourning Jr. in Chesapeake, Virginia on February 8th, 1970. Before I start, I must acknowledge a primary source for this segment. Alonzo Mourning had an article published in 2023 called Letter to My Younger Self. So most of his biographical details come directly from him. So he opens up his letter. Dear 12-year-old Alonzo, your angels are coming. Right off the bat, he tells his younger self about how he chose to live in foster care because his parents split and was unable to choose who to live with. The first angel he referenced was Fanny Threat, who became his foster mom. He tells his younger self about how he chose to live in foster care because his parents split and was unable to choose who to live with. The first angel he referenced was Fanny Threat, who became his foster mom. He formed a bond with her and she supported his development as he started getting into hoops. First trivia question, fellas. What is another sport Alonzo Mourning played besides basketball?
This is like the one time I wish you didn't call on me first. I'm going to say volleyball. He seems like a volleyball guy.
Okay. And let's go with Maurice.
I'm going to say baseball.
Baseball. Okay. And then Ben?
That was my guess. Baseball. To be different, I'll say football.
Okay. So that's correct, actually, Ben. Football. Good job. So
Ben is on fire today.
I don't watch that much of Miami Heat. So, although Prime, I was into the Tim Hardaway. Stuff I know. I don't know Bam that well, so I'm surprised. I've been getting them right.
Maybe he played those sports in, just in gym class or something, right? But he was excited to play football in middle school, but the school did not have gear to fit him properly because he was so tall and he did not like the smaller players tackling him at the knees. Pretty soon, he committed himself to hoops. How tall do you think he was at age 13?
I'm going to say 6'4".
I'm going to go the other direction. I'm going to say 5'10".
I feel like he was a giant at an early age, so I'm going to say 6'8".
6'8". None of you guys were correct.
Who's the closest?
The closest? He was 6'5". So I guess it would be Lucas then? 6'8",
no, Maurice
right?
said 6'4".
Yeah, man, I said
6'4".
6'4".
Maurice got the closest then, yes.
Yeah.
Well, you said they were tackling him at his knees. I know he had to be tall.
that was the key point, right? So
Mm-hmm.
he didn't want to deal with that.
They both were like giants at 13.
Absolutely.
That's in like 7th grade. So that's the takeaway. Yeah, I get it. I get that question.
So he started playing AAU ball in Virginia and eventually linked up with Bo Williams' traveling team. He described getting whooped by the Russian junior national team, but it only motivated him to improve his skills. He's described watching a college player on TV that inspired him. Any guesses, fella? Who inspired him?
I'm going to say Patrick Ewing.
That's a good one. I'm going to say Hakeem Olajuwon.
I'm going to say Hakeem Olajuwon too.
Nice picks. However, only one got it correctly. Lucas.
Nice
job. Patrick Ewing. Not too many years after being inspired by Ewing on TV in a matchup versus UNC, Alonzo would shake Ewing's hand at the Nike All-American Camp. According to USA Today article, Alonzo was ranked the 13th best high school player of all time, highlighting how his Indian River Braves team won 51 straight wins in a state title. Before enrolling at a college just north of Hampton Roads, Alonzo was the USA Today Player of the Year as well as a Parade All-American. Fellas, any thought on Alonzo Mourning before college?
So it's funny. I used to live in Chesapeake, Virginia, and the closest school district to me was Indian River. I find that interesting that a guy that iconic to the game grew up where I used to live. I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I like that. I like that. That's good.
Just the fact that the Georgetown players can pass on their legacy from one big man to another big man, I think that's pretty cool. You know, the influence that Patrick Ewing has on the next generation of big men, and then Alonzo comes along, and then Dikembe comes along, and now you got the big man of the 90s, and then he continues from there.
Very well. He shook his hand.
I was about to say the big men of the 2000s were Roy Hibbert and Greg Monroe for Georgetown, I believe.
Yes.
Nice connection there.
Uriah's laughing because he's just like Roy Hibbert and Greg Monroe. He's laughing.
Solid NBA big men.
They were solid. They weren't like, Dikembe Mutombo, but they were, Roy Hibbert did invent verticality, right? So, you got to give him that.
He was an all-star one year, too. And
he did make an all-star, so Uriah. He did make an all-star.
Was he all-NBA? He might have been like third team.
He might have been, but he was also, I think he made Defensive Player of the Year one year. Maybe Roy Hibbert would be a fun comp.
He was good for a couple years. But Monroe was a very high draft pick who did not achieve.
He could score, kind of.
I think he was a top 5 pick, though.
I don't remember.
Let's get Ben's thoughts on Alonzo Mourning before college. I don't think we got it yet.
Virginia basketball was like doing some stuff in the 80s and 90s. And sports in general, because you have Michael Vick. I guess Lawrence Taylor kind of started it. But not only the athletes that came out of Virginia, but the superstars in different sports. So shout out to Virginia because it's not the largest state. And then that record is pretty wild. That record, Lucas, you knew the team, but what would you say, 151 wins or something?
51 straight wins.
Oh, 51. It's still impressive, yeah.
Now, Alonzo Mourning's first angel was his foster mom. Who do you guess would be his next angel while entering college?
I'll start John Thompson.
You got the first one?
He's a mentor to everyone. So he seems to not only be a coach, but kind of a father figure. So, yeah, I'm going to say John Thompson.
John Thompson. Maurice?
You guys are still in the good ones. I'm going to go Thompson as well.
All right. And then Lucas?
I'll just make this a quartet and agree with everybody. No, not a quartet, a trio. Yeah, I'll agree there.
Kind of stares that way, right? When you're going into college, right? Yeah. Good pick, guys.
John Thompson was just an OG.
He was great. Yeah. Good grab, Ben. But you guys kind of agree, kind of go in that direction. But Alonzo Mourning stated that 5 schools visited his home. Syracuse,
Makes
Georgia
sense.
Tech,
Okay.
UVA, UMD, and Georgetown. John Thompson requested to be the last. Who can guess legendary Coach Thompson's pitch to Alonzo's foster mom, Mrs. 3? Is that correct? Did I say her name right? All right. Who can give us the guess here?
I'm gonna guess because this is around AI time. And like Virginia back then, I mean, based off of the stories you hear about Allen Iverson in the Hampton Roads area, I mean, Chesapeake is a little bit of a nicer neighborhood, but I'm guessing it was to make sure that Alonzo graduated college. Because didn't he graduate with his degree?
I'm going to go with degree as well.
All right. That's good picks, guys. Here's what went down. It says, he said this to her. We would love for Alonzo to come to Georgetown. But if he does, he's going to have to work hard and earn everything he gets. The only thing I can promise you is if he does that and goes to class, Alonzo will graduate with a diploma from one of the finest universities in the entire country.
See,
He's
parents
going
cared
to
about
get
degrees back then.
Oh, yes. He's going to get a great education at Georgetown. One time in 1989, Coach Thompson sat his players down and asked them about an historic event that had happened recently, and nobody knew. He scolded them for not knowing that the Berlin Wall had been torn down. And Alonzo then realized that Coach Thompson cared not just about their basketball experience, he wanted them to learn valuable lessons about life in general. He wanted them to accumulate knowledge to become good citizens, good people. In Alonzo's own words, he said, "The man is a straight-up angel." While he had angels protecting him, Alonzo was becoming quite the devil on the college court. You guys want to hear some of his college stats?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because he shared stats with Mutombo, so he can only get so many blocks. It's going to be interesting.
Here we go. So after 4 years of Georgetown, Alonzo's averages were 16.7 points, 8.6 boards, and 1.7 assists. Over under, guys, blocks per game. Let's go with 4. And I'm going to start with Maurice first. Over blocks. We got 4.
I'm going to go under.
Under. Okay, Maurice is under. We're going to go with Ben.
I'm going to say under. I think he had to play the 4 with Mutombo a couple of years, so it probably took him out of the paint. So I'm going to say under.
Under as well. And then Lucas, what you got?
I'm going to third that motion for under.
All 3 in favor, huh? Good job, gentlemen. 3.8, a weird stat though, right? His freshman and senior years, he averaged 5.0 blocks. Ooh. For his sophomore and junior years, he only averaged a little over 2 per game.
Okay.
He racked up quite a few awards before leaving Georgetown. Big East All-Freshman. Alonzo was 4-time All-Big East, 3-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, and Big East Tourney Most Valuable Player. Not too long ago after graduating from Georgetown, Alonzo Mourning entered the NBA draft where he was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets.
Second pick in the 1992 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Alonzo Mourning from Georgetown University.
Nice, fellas. What do you think about Alonzo Mourning's college career? Let's go with Ben this time.
Didn't know Lucas said this. This is a really good comp. You know, it's nice when it's this easy because these guys are truly two-way. I didn't know Bam averaged 14 points at Kentucky. That's actually or over 13. So he always kind of had an offensive bag. And Alonzo being Big East Player of the Year in the early 90s, you got to think about like how the Big East was the basketball conference back then. It still kind of is one of the top 2, but if you're the opposing team having to like suit up and be like, I don't know how we're going to score. You've got Dikembe Mutombo and Alonzo Mourning. Like that must have just been like, I don't know, terrifying for the opposing team. So
Nice take. Let's hear Lucas' thoughts.
I mean, it just shows that despite, playing out of position, he was still averaging 2 blocks per game playing at power forward versus center, which is pretty impressive if you think about it. Just the versatility that he had. And, we didn't really see that in the NBA, but that's another comp that, they can play both positions. So
Good take. And then Maurice.
Yeah, going back to what Ben was saying, being an offensive player of the year for the Big East, that's pretty impressive. We're talking about early '90s Big East. Like, this is some rough basketball. This is like right before Ray Allen and Iverson, but that was a very competitive conference, and for him to be essentially the best player overall, it says a lot.
All right. Lucas, are you ready to talk about stats?
let's get these big men posted up in the paint. Let's go.
All right.
Waits and then gets there to the right area. Bam gets it off. Knocks it down. Bam, Adebayo. Time was running out. Joe Harris just picked up his first foul. Bam, off balance, but on target. 23 points for Bam Adebayo. The Nets ahead by 11. Bam against Jordan from the dotted line. That's good. Bam Adebayo. Durant now, Brooklyn's leading scorer with 24. So the Nets up by 16, and Bam hits another three. Comes at the end of, that's not a three. He was inside the arc. My bad. His good. Bam having quite enough. Miami still a shot at winning this game. We got plenty of time left, just under 11 minutes. Bam, pump faking, draws the foul and scores. A new regular season career high, 31 points.
More comfortable trying to score the basketball.
Well, that highlight just totally stole one of my things, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll get to it. In the meantime, let's talk about the numbers behind those highlights here. So Bam is listed at 6'9", 255 pounds. He's worn the number 13 his entire career. That being said, it was hard because he's played for about 7 seasons, entering his 8th season now. So trying to choose a good season here was difficult because there aren't that many, and some of them are pretty good to choose from. I'm going to go with this past season, though, as his best season. He averaged 19 points, 10.5 rebounds, a shade under 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He shot 52% from the field. Here's an interesting one. Almost 36% from the three-point line. Foul line, he shot 75.5%. Just based off of that, what are your guys' initial reactions to his stats? I'll go with Winston first because he's new. And he's now the OG of the podcast.
Appreciate the OG stat.
Yes, he is actually older than Uriah, so I got somebody else now that I can call out for.
Uh-oh. It's a good thing we can't see video. No, but those numbers are impressive. I like the one you mentioned about the 50% number. Was that his free throw shooting? What was that number?
For his 3-point percentage or his field goal percentage?
Field goal percentage.
So field goal was 52%. And 3-point line was 35, almost 36%. And I do want to make one note. So prior to last season, he never shot more than 15 three-pointers in a single season, right? Last year, he shot 42, which makes me think that he's making a leap, either becoming a stretch 5, or because they drafted as a young center in the first round last year, that he might become a power forward for the Heat, just depending on what they need.
I was actually surprised by the 52% because early career Bam, he was kind of like that lob guy, the guy who made the putbacks and really didn't have an offensive game outside of 10 feet. But now he's really improved that jump shot. I can actually expect that field goal percentage to go up.
So it's interesting that you mentioned that his first 2 years, he never attempted. His career average and field goal percentage was like 5 and 6 field goal attempts a game. That goes to the lob threat portion. And then it jumped up to 11 in his third year. And now for the past 2 years, it's been around 14, 15. So that's just, you're right. He did not have much of an offensive game at all his first 2 years. And then it kind of slowly developed over the last couple of years.
The zone Miami plays, he has to guard 1 through 5, literally. His defensive numbers aren't really on the stat sheet. They're to the eye. If you watch a Miami Heat game, he's just everywhere. His motor is unbelievable.
Did you mean steals or assists?
his steals and blocks aren't as
Okay.
aren't as high as I thought they would be. But what they demand of him, I mean, he guards like anyone. Everyone kind of saw in the Olympics a little bit that he's just like a plug guy.
Mm-hmm. Very versatile. Yeah.
Of anyone I'd want on my team, as far as like who could fill in any spot, I think he's like the one guy you can put into any organization and it would just like work. Yeah.
Now, let's go to the career highs. Now, that highlight at the time, now I don't know if that highlight was up to date, but let's see here. One of the highlights did mention a career high. That is not up to date, so keep that in mind. Okay.
I tried to trick you.
It was a trick, yes. So, career high in points per game. Over under 45. I'll start with Ben first.
Under.
I'll go under.
I'm definitely going under as well.
Yeah, you guys are all correct. It's 41. He only reached 41 in one season.
They don't run much through him.
No,
it's
not
a lot
much.
of like dribble handoff, and he's like he screens a lot. So for him to get his points would be like if people were hurt, maybe.
And no, it was the COVID season, so it probably was when they were missing like half their team.
Then I predict this season they will run more through Bam. As Jimmy gets older, I think they will run a little bit more.
Not through Tyler here. Well, we'll get into teammates later.
Actually, before we get into that, not to talk about teammates, but the two rookies that impressed me the most at Summer League were Chicago's pick, and they drafted this guy they drafted like a 7'2" center Miami. He was really impressive.
Yeah, that's why I hinted that he might be playing power forward this year. And maybe not to start the season, but by the end of the season, totally possible. But
yeah, they might have gotten the steal of the draft.
Yeah. We'll see, but maybe Jared McCain will be that steal. And yes, I'm letting my Sixers fans show for once instead of Ben. No, but
I'm trying to hold it.
I know you're trying your best. So over under 20 rebounds as a career high, Maurice.
I am going to say over.
Definitely over.
I'm going to be the odd one. I'm going to go under.
Well, Winston, you are. I had to do it to you at least once.
That's
it's
right.
21. It's 21. It's close, though. It's close. 21. He's gotten over 20 rebounds in 2 separate seasons. He has reached 11 assists as a career high in at least 4 different seasons. I tell you, the guy has underrated playmaking skills.
Yeah, he was a guard early on.
Yep.
Yeah. Steals is 6, blocks is 6, turnovers is 8, and of course, because I know Uriah can't say anything about it, his career high in fouls is 6. Yeah, it doesn't have the same weight, buddy. Sorry. No. So anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on the career highs here?
The 11 assists was impressive. I like to hear that from a big man, and the fact that he's getting more familiar with the court, almost like a coach's mindset now. So he's seeing the floor better. So that impressed me the most.
I know I went under on 45. 41's really low for someone that's like he doesn't have.
He's never a scorer though.
Yeah, but Miami they don't have much offensive talent on their team. They play really hard outside of Jimmy Butler. So like, and then Jimmy misses games. So I'm kind of surprised like games Jimmy sits out because Hero's been in and out. I'm definitely surprised he didn't get like.
Well, and that's why I think the assists are so high too, because he's not like a natural like scorer.
Yeah, I just thought he would have had it sounds like he only has 1 40-point game, maybe 2, but that's surprising to me given. I just think that Miami has such few offensive weapons that I thought he would have gotten like a game.
Fair enough.
I foresee him having bigger scoring output nights going forward. I think they're going to run way more offense through him. I might have to look at him in our fantasy draft coming up.
Hey.
I think he's going to be a bigger focal point of Miami's offense. So I think those career highs, rebounds, blocks, points, maybe not assists, but when we talk about Miami, they don't really have a lot of scoring options. I mean, they have shooters.
They have Tyler Hero can create his own shot.
Yeah, he's good. Don't get me wrong. Duncan Robinson's a great shooter.
You doing the teammate section now, sir?
No. I'm just trying to make my point that they have shooters, but they don't have a consistent number 2 scorer. And I think
but you know
Bam
what they
will be
don't
that.
have? They don't have a number 2 offensive creator outside of himself and Jimmy. 'Cause Kyle's gone now, and Tyler Hero can, he creates for others out of necessity. By the way, Uriah, you don't have to answer this audioly, but are we having an episode for our fantasy draft? Oh, I'm so there for that. Let's go.
Lucas, you forgot one player. Mom, this is my 1-6er split. Caleb Martin is an underrated creator. He gets his...
Well, he's not there anymore.
Yeah, but he's not there anymore. That's what I was saying.
He's on another team now.
A reason why he'll score more.
There's your Sixers fans showing. There it is. I missed that. Anyway, so yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Enough said about Bam. Let's go to the real OG center in Miami, the first great center in Miami history. Let's go to Alonzo Mourning.
Rip now with a 3-on-1 break. Blocked by Alonzo Mourning. And Mourning repels a Hakeem Warwick dunk. Nelson for Dwight Howard. Mourning blocked another dunk. What a block that was. Mourning with some outstanding, stellar defense.
Can you believe what that man is doing? It's absolutely amazing how he can block dunks.
And when Mourning blocks his 6th shot, a tremendous block. That's one of the greatest shot blocks I've ever seen.
Oh, Harris blocked by Mourning.
And so Devin Harris said, I can do that. And Mourning said, no, you won't.
Here's Fry, cleared for takeoff, and denied again by Mourning. 9 block shots tonight for Zoe. He just sent back another dunk.
Grant Hill comes right at him, and Mourning denies him on the dunk.
He's leading the league in blocked shots.
Josh Smith driving, and so goes up to meet him. What a terrific block.
And look here, another meeting at the summit.
So those were the highlights. Here are the numbers behind Alonzo Mourning. So Alonzo was 6'10", but he actually weighed less than Bam. He is listed at 240, whereas Bam is listed at 255. So Bam's a little bit more stockier in terms of muscle mass. Yeah, right? You would think Alonzo because he was so chiseled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I guess it's like, that is surprising. Must be like lower body.
Well, I mean, Bam is an inch shorter, and that does make a difference. Maybe he just feels like he has to be able to be a little bit stronger. And I mean, outside of Shaq, Alonzo didn't really have to guard anybody offensively that much.
Winston said it. It's wingspan. He's 7'3" wingspan.
Yeah,
it's wingspan.
Right. Yeah. It's wingspan. Yep, there we go.
I'm about to chime in on that.
All right, but okay. So finding an elite season for Alonzo Mourning was actually very hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. I actually went with the lockout year, 99. Feel like that was his best season. Didn't make an All-Star team because, of course, there was no All-Star game that year. But here's some numbers to keep in mind. He scored 20 points per game, had 11 rebounds, 1.5 assists, less than a steal per game, averaged 3.9 blocks, 3 turnovers, 3.5 fouls, shot 51% from the field. Even think he attempted a 3-pointer that year. Did he? He attempted 2, but did not make any of them. And then he shot 65% from the free throw line. So just hearing those stats, what is your initial reaction? I'll go back to the OG Winston.
My initial stats about particularly the 3-point. He gets a pass from that era.
Yeah.
So I give him that.
Probably heaves. Probably heaves.
I give him that. I thought he would have more blocks though. Listening to the stats, he might have.
You mean 3.5 and 9 isn't enough blocks for you, sir?
I thought in his era he was dominant. I thought he was.
That was his highest ever in his career.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out.
College.
Yeah.
But okay. 3.59 is a little bit low for Winston. Winston has high standards. We know that now. What about you, Maurice?
I'll go back to the blocks because, especially coming off a lockout year, I think he only played 50 games.
Yeah, he played 46 of the 50 games that year.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that's a lot because you got to remember at that era, too. The guys weren't shooting a lot of threes like they were today. And there was a lot of mid-range shots. And he was definitely a difference maker. They didn't get past the Knicks because the Knicks went to the finals that lockout year. But I do remember them being like their major rival at that time with the Miami Heat. I would have loved to have seen a series. I don't think we got it that year. I'll check real quick.
No, because wasn't Ewing injured that season until like the finals?
You're correct. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, and then
so that
Marcus,
was more him, Marcus Camby, right?
Yeah, Camby kind of had played well in the playoffs.
Okay.
I would have loved to have seen that matchup.
I think I was like 6 at the time, but I'm sure the rest of you guys would have loved to see that at that point.
That Knicks team is kind of a modern team because they had a bunch of like 6'7" dudes who could put the ball on the floor. Like they had a little Celtics to them.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of Ben, how about you? What stands out to you?
I think the year prior they won over 60 games. They were kind of the only team that could really challenge
the Knicks.
No, I was going to say the last MJ three-peat in the 98.
Okay.
Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning, PJ Brown, ton of shooters. So that team stands out to me. And then I agree, the 4 blocks. You know what's interesting is I guess Wemby's, the way the league is played now, we don't get that many blocks anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But Wemby might be the one guy that starts getting like that 4, I think. But,
okay.
And to Alonzo's credit, he was 6'9", 6'10", leading the league in blocks. So
yeah, like that's not undersized, but that is on the smaller end.
Also,
of centers.
Alonzo Mourning was in the prime. He was defending
Shaq.
The best centers in their prime of all time: Shaquille O'Neal, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, David
I think
Robinson.
Hakeem was towards the end of his prime, but yeah.
No, he won a championship in 94, 95.
Okay.
So, like, I'm talking about when Alonzo, he was still leading, but...
Oh, you mean when he was in Charlotte? Gotcha.
Yeah, just like he was the defensive player of the year, undersized with these, like, 5 all-time great centers. So, that's what stands out. So the blocks is what stands out.
So for his career, and I will say this, we all know Alonzo got the kidney disease in 2002, 2003, missed that whole entire season. After he came back, he was a shell of himself. Never started more than 43 games in a single season. He never eclipsed 10 points again. Blocks were down. He struggled, but he came back, and that, my understanding it was a very serious injury. But even before the 2 seasons prior to that illness, we did see a drop off in his scoring per game. The 99-2000 season was 21, and then the next 2 years were 13 and 15 respectively. So even before the injury, it looked like he was starting to be on the decline. But for his career, he averaged 17 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, half a steal, almost 3 blocks per game, 52% from the field, and 69% from the free throw line. So any thoughts on that before we move on to career highs?
No, I'll say this. If you would have gave me a comparison between the two of the points per game, I would have said Bam had more. But you said Bam had 15 and Alonzo had 17.
For their careers right as now.
Career highs.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the career average. So, yeah, I would have said that. I would have reversed that if you didn't tell me the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, for his first, let's see, for the first, I want to say 7 years of his career, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the first 8 seasons of his career, he averaged over 20 points 6 times.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that goes to show how great he was because he averaged that many points while still being a defensive force.
I mean, after Hakeem, Ewing, and Robinson were past their primes, it was him and Shaq as the best centers in the NBA for a while. So you got to keep that in mind, too.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 17. He played because he kind of had like a second. I mean, he was on that championship team
in Miami.
Yeah, in 06. So he had a little bit of a career.
As a backup, yeah.
So the fact that he still averaged 17, you said 6 seasons, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
The points, yeah. Again, back to your underrated offensive player.
Yep. Winston, any thoughts before we go to career highs?
No, that's pretty much in line with everyone's saying about his free throw shooting in that era. I like Maurice's pick about he was thought Bam would be flip with them, but that's good pick though. I like that.
All right, here we go. So Bam had a career high of 41. Is Alonzo Mourning's career high in scoring over under Bam's 41? Start with Ben first.
Over.
Maurice.
I'm going to go under.
Winston.
I'm going to go over because bigs weren't shooting like that and from the outside more. So I'll say he got a lot of inside points and post-ups. So I'm going to go over.
Maurice, you are... That is not... There you go.
That was an accident. I don't know why I did that. Sorry.
Whoa.
Uriah, you're not... Uriah blooper. That's a...
No, that was... I was hitting wrong, and it didn't work, so I had to click a different one to see if it was working. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. His career high was 50 points. He had a 50-point game back in the 95-96 season. So that's impressive. I never thought of him as a 50-point guy. So, but now everybody's doing 50 points. So it's not as special as it used to be.
Right. True.
So this is interesting. So Bam had, I believe I said, 21 as a career high in reboundings. Alonzo had 22. I find that very interesting. 7 assists as a career high, 4 steals, 9 blocks. Never got 10, but he got 9 back in the 95-96 season. Gosh, he was feeling himself that year, huh? And then he had 10 turnovers. And, of course, because Uriah can't say anything, 6 fouls as a career high. So, any thoughts on the career highs here? That is not the right soundbite, and you know it. There we go. Okay. So, any thoughts on the career highs? I'll start with Maurice first.
Well, he beat Bam by 1 rebound, which is pretty impressive. I gotta say this. Isn't it like that sweet spot of like 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" players who are like the best rebounders and not like the 7'2" guys?
Yeah, because I feel like those type of guys, like the guys that they're not undersized, but they're not like, they can't rely on their height just to get rebounds, so they gotta do a little bit extra.
Yeah, so they gotta really box out.
Yeah, they gotta really box out.
Barkley,
Rodman,
Drummond, the self-proclaimed best rebounder. We'll be doing an episode on him soon. I'm hoping.
He's
right?
Not far off.
Yeah. Anyway, what about you, Winston? What are your thoughts?
His career highs. I think he had over 51 game. I'm not sure how many.
50 in one game. Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty good for that position and during that time in that era. So that stands out to me. I can't remember if he had a couple more close to that, but that's pretty good. 50 points.
He had one other game outside of that season that was above 40 points.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
The 50 in the 95-96 season, I think that was his first year in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was when Jordan's team went 72-10. Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah, because 95-96, not that it matters, but he was putting up 50. You were talking about some players falling out of their prime, but everyone was in their prime in that year, all those centers. So he was right there.
No, I think that's more than fair. So on that note, I'm going to pass the ball to Ben. Ben, I'm closing my Chromebook so that I can't cheat. Go ahead and take away with career accolades. You're really digging into the sound effects today, huh, bud? Anyway, go ahead, Ben.
Third quarter, accolades.
Having one of the best seasons of his career, he's the center of the defense in South Beach, a 2-time All-Star from the Miami Heat, Bam Adebayo.
With my 6th pick, I'm going to take a guy that I believe is one of the hardest playing dude out there. He gives everything every single night for his team in order for them to win. Bam Adebayo. Of the Miami Heat.
All right, that is Bam Adebayo, and I believe that is Giannis picking him for the All-Star game. Okay, so Bam Adebayo, he just recently turned 27. He's entering his 8th season. I feel like Maurice was saying this. He is kind of just entering his prime. Yeah. Alonzo was 22 when he started. Bam was only 19. I think these accolades are going to be quite a bit more in the next 4 or 5 years. All right, let's start it off. How many times has Bam Adebayo been an NBA All-Star? I'll start off with Winston.
I'm going to go 2 times.
All right. Maurice?
I'll go 3.
All right. And Lucas?
I'll second that motion.
All right, Lucas and Maurice, you guys are correct. 3-time All-Star. Didn't make it 2 years in a row. I think he was injured one of those years.
He made it 2 years in a row these past 2 years.
Yeah. In 2021 and 2022, he did not make an All-Star team. He made it in the bubble year in 2020. That's when they made the finals. He made it when they made the finals again in 2023. And then he made it this past year, 2024. This question might get you guys. How many times has Bam Adebayo been on an all-defensive team? And of that, how many of them have been first team? So know that you can only be first or second team with defensive teams.
I think he's made an all-defensive team every year after his first 2 years, so I'm going to say 6.
All right.
I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
I want to say 5 as well.
All right, Lucas, this is for you. You are Maurice and Winston, you guys are correct. So the second part, how many of those were first or second team?
I'll say 3.
And this is for center, correct? Not power forward.
Well, last year it didn't matter.
Oh.
Last year didn't matter, yeah.
Sure. I'm going to go 2.
Okay, Lucas.
Oh, he did 2.
All right, you guys are all wrong. It's only one. It's only one. And Lucas, nice catch. It's this only past year. And he only got it because Gobert got it again. So he only got it because he was slotted in the power forward.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I think Anthony Davis and Gobert have just kind of like, mainly Gobert, I would say. Mm-hmm. But Anthony Davis, I think, got it certainly in 2020.
Lucas's favorite defensive player.
Yay!
And then Embiid has only gotten second team. So similarly to Bam, it's been Gobert and Davis, I want to say, the last... We talk about MVP dominance. Those guys have been all NBA defensive first team dominance, but Bam got it last year, so it's trending in the right direction. That's about it for this guy's NBA accolades. But there is an important accolade that he has that we recently just watched. What do you guys think it is?
Yeah, it's the gold medal in Tokyo?
And Paris.
Oh, Paris. Right.
Yeah.
Where did I get Tokyo from? I don't know where I get Tokyo from.
No, he won in Tokyo.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was on the Tokyo team.
Oh, right.
He's
okay.
a two-time gold medalist.
I was right.
Yeah, you're right. So Bam is kind of overshadowed by, obviously, Jimmy Butler. He's, more vocal. He's a little bit more in his prime. Bam is 8 years younger, so he's kind of entering. It's kind of we're kind of witnessing the transition of it being his team. So that's about it for his NBA accolades. And again, no Defensive Player of the Year accolades. So I want to reiterate that.
But he was runner-up one year, wasn't he?
He was runner-up. That is correct. But he's never won Defensive Player. And the year he was runner-up, he got second team All-NBA defense.
Crazy.
That's what happens. Because that's what happened that's what happens like Embiid and Jokic for MVP too.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. What stands out, guys?
What stands out to me with him is what we don't see. I think that we haven't seen all that he can do. I think the way he plays the game, this is his interpersonal side of the basketball game. That's what I see mostly. And I think that's just going to carry on throughout the year, especially this last Olympics. We've seen that in his interpersonal and also a skill set. So I think we're yet to see all of it. And
let's be real. I know his coach was the assistant, but that backup lineup of him at the 4 was like, this guy's playing out of position. If you have a good big, like you get to use Adebayo guarding everyone.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was unbelievable. Him at the 4.
Despite not having like the counting stats for Defensive Player of the Year, that he's considered one of the top defenders and getting all defensive teams despite that. That takes a lot of like, wow, you're really just that good.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're not Heat fans here, but like I'm excited to see his development. He's one of those guys that I'm looking forward to kind of seeing where it goes.
And I'll add is his versatility, like you mentioned, he could guard 1 through 5. And the fact that he can do that, rebound, and he's becoming a better long range or 3-point shooter, I truly do believe he's going to have another breakout season coming up.
Yeah, and he can. It's not on here too, but he can play make. I mean, Lucas was talking about this. He averaged like almost 6 assists one year. He can play make, and he can handle the ball pretty well. So he's a guy on your team. All right, that's it for him. To be continued. I think if we were to do this in 3 years, we'd have a couple Defensive Player of the Years. I think we'd even have like second team All-NBA. All right, let's switch it over to Alonzo Mourning.
I never shield away from challenges, ever. A friend of mine once shared a quote, when obstacles arise, you change your direction. You do not change your decision to get there. I stand here as a man of many directions, of all of which have led me to this place, the right place. I am humbled, thankful, and still uncertain how it all came together, but I believe everybody has a story. We've created those stories in our lives through relationships that we establish. And I also stand here before you today at this podium in front of this crowd, inside this wonderful auditorium. I can say this is one of those times where I can give. This is not my day. This is Mrs. Fannie Threet's day. This is Coach Thompson's day. This is my entire family and friends who has contributed to this particular moment. This is everyone whose selflessness I spend every day trying to repay. I want to thank you all for recognizing me and all of them. Thank you so much for this amazing honor, and God bless you all.
That was a great pick, Maurice. You got
really good job, Maurice. Man, John Thompson's players are really they give really great speeches, and he really teaches his athletes, his players, to be sensitive in a way that's really I don't know.
Yeah, he really does make men out of boys.
Yeah, he makes them he's the best. All right, so this is quite a rap sheet again. Guys retired. Other guy is kind of just starting his prime. All right. How many All-Stars has Alonzo Mourning made? I'll give you one hint. It will surprise you.
I'm going to take a guess at this because I really can't remember back in that time, even though I watched a lot of basketball in that time. It's All-Stars. I'm going to go with 2.
Oh, wow. Okay. Lucas.
Well, he was in the East for his entire career. He started the same time Shaq did, so he had to deal with Shaq. And he had to deal with Ewing at the beginning. And then when Ewing was gone, Shaq was gone. There was nobody else in the East. At least not that I can remember.
Mutombo.
Sorry. Yeah, he's probably going to get it over Mutombo at that point. At least the start. I mean, he's going to get at least in. He's not going to be pushed out. I'm going to say 5. 5 All-Stars.
All right. And Maurice.
This is actually a good question because to 96 you had Shaq.
Yeah.
And then Shaq went out west.
Shaq went out west. So 97, 98, 99.
It was Ewing.
In 99, Luke, you didn't have an All-Star game.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, Luke. Yeah, so he's in the era where he would have been in another All-Star game.
Yeah.
So it's either 2 or 3, and Lucas said 2, so I'll go 3.
Winston said 2. I said 5.
Oh, Winston said 2. Okay, so I'm sorry.
Okay, I thought this was low given him. But I guess not. It's 7. So we're all right. I thought 7 was low for him.
He did make 1.5.
He made it right away, and then he didn't make it for a couple years. So that's kind of what happened. I thought he would have had at least 9 or 10 personally, because when he was good, Alonzo Mourning came in the league. I think he won Rookie of the Year.
The Hornets were probably just terrible. The Hornets were probably just terrible.
They were a young upstart team.
No, but he was almost a 20 and 10 guy right away. I remember, he was really good right away.
Doesn't matter if your team sucks.
Yeah, sure. So his second year though, he was an All-Star. So his second through 5th season, he was an All-Star. He would have made it he didn't make it in 98. I think they were hurt, and then in 99 was a lockout year.
Yeah.
So and then he made it 2002. Yeah, 3 more times.
3. Oh, okay.
So 7-time NBA All-Star. Again, we just kind of rattled through the challenge of, you had to make sure Shaq went out west. All right. How many All-NBA teams did he make total? We'll just do total.
Ooh, there were some good centers back then. I'm going to say 3.
All right.
I'm going to go 4.
Yeah, that was the era of the best big men. I'm going to say 4.
All right, you guys are all wrong, but you were on the right track with the All-Star. It was super low. It's only 2.
2. Wow.
Yeah, so we were kind of on the right track. the thing to note about All-Star in the 90s, it was more fan vote. Fan vote had more of an account in the early 2000s, whereas All-NBA was more like kind of what All-Star is now, a little bit more of a media and player vote. He got All-NBA first team in 99 and then second team in 2000. So that lockout year, he was considered the best center in the NBA.
Okay.
Wow.
So there you go.
Okay.
He was first team over Shaq in 99.
That's impressive.
So, yeah. And
that is impressive.
Yeah. So he was first team over Shaq, guys. And
I bet you that drove Shaq absolutely insane.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah. Shaq keeps his receipts.
He does.
Yeah.
He takes it personally.
I think he likes Mourning. I think he always gives Mourning a shout out.
Oh, yeah. They like each other, but them being teammates was definitely an interesting proposal.
This is a wild stat. I like his trivia because it's like not what you would expect. So how many All-NBA defensive teams, again, keep in mind the centers we've mentioned in his college teammate. Keep that in mind. How many All-NBA defensive teams did Alonzo Mourning make?
Was Duncan included as a center at that point?
No. It would have been Ewing, Olajuwon, Robinson, even Shaq, and Mutombo. It's more Mutombo, Robinson, and Olajuwon. Keep in mind.
Gosh, I'm gonna say he probably made 3 all defensive teams.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go next to Maurice.
I'm gonna say 2.
All right, and Winston.
I'm gonna go with Lucas as well. 3.
All right, Maurice, this is for you. You are.
Wow.
So this is where it gets wild, guys. So he's only made 2 All-NBA defensive teams, 2 first teams. And again, this is the 99-2000 year when he was the best center in the league, or one of the 2 best. Get this. In those 2 years, blocks leader and the defensive player of the year.
Wow.
So the guy just dominated like the Y2K, like absolute just. And I remember that. That's when like, Lucas, you might be a little young, but I remember Mourning just being like, you feared him, like in a way that, and
I just know old man Mourning. That's the only Mourning I know.
His switchability is why that Heat team was really good. They weren't shooting as many threes back then, but he really could guard guards. So
young Alonzo was very versatile, kind of like just like Bam.
Yeah,
they can move around, switch. He had good lateral movement.
And they had PJ Washington, also a good switcher.
PJ Brown, you mean?
PJ Brown, sorry.
Yeah, PJ. I know PJ Brown.
PJ Tucker, who might retire now. PJ Washington, wow. All right, so All-NBA rookie first team in 93. He did not get rookie of the year, but it was first team. I already said the blocks leader. Okay. Did Alonzo Mourning ever win a gold medal in the Olympics? It's my trivia question for you guys.
I want to say yes. He won it in 96.
Was he on the Redeem team?
No.
The Dream Team too.
Yeah, I think he was.
It had to be 96 or 2000. So I'm going to say yes.
All right, Winston.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with those guys. I had to think about that for a second. I was like, he was on the team, so I would go yes as well.
He did win the 2000.
Yeah, I thought it was the 96. My bad.
Okay. He didn't play on the 04. That was, he was, I think, recovering. I don't think he was 100%, but and then he won a FIBA World Cup in 94 and the bronze in 90. He did make the he is in the Basketball Hall of Fame 2014. So
wow.
Yeah, this guy was pretty dominant in an era of all-time centers. So we think about centers now, and we think about the dominance of like Jokic and Embiid. But imagine having like 2 more of them. Like that's what it was like. 3 more of them. That's what it was like during this era. So
I have a question, Ben. Was he on the NBA 75?
You know what?
No, he wasn't.
No, he was not. But
he was not. He's the guy that was snubbed, I think.
Wow.
I don't think there was a longevity to it in the era that he played in against the competition. He wasn't even the top 3 in his own era. So
yeah, I think, believe it or not, outside of Defensive Player of the Year, like Anthony Davis was on that, right?
Yeah,
wasn't Anthony Davis on it? And I gotta be honest, like Anthony Davis, he should have won a Defensive Player of the Year, but they are kind of similar if you think about it. And then if you give
AD's a much better offensive player.
Yeah, but it is surprising. 2-time defensive player of the year didn't get into it. That's a tough one. I would say that would be, but yeah, Anthony Davis, I think, won a championship, was arguably the best player on that team. So
yeah, look, there's a lot of other players before ahead of Alonzo that should have been on that list before him.
Yeah, I think what Lucas said is completely correct. It's a longevity. So, all right, guys, what stands out and all that, all of his accolades? I'm going to go.
Wasn't he runner up for MVP one year too?
Yeah, it would have been the '99 season because he was All NBA. He was All NBA first team, so that's a lockout year.
Yeah.
And so Karl Malone, I believe, won it that year. And I think you're right. I think Mourning that was the first year Jordan retired. And so we all were like kind of looking for the baton. Believe it or not, Iverson, I think, was a top 3 or 4 finalist.
In 99, yeah.
Yeah. He was like only 22 or 23, but he was, believe it or not, a finalist.
No, I can believe it.
So yeah, that's a good catch, Lucas. He was a runner-up.
Yeah.
The team was really good. Tim Hardaway. All right, guys, what stands out? I'm going to go to Winston first.
What stands out to me is that, for him, his size player, the era he was playing in, the one stat where I believe it was 2 all-defensive player, was that the one stat you mentioned? That one stood out to me versus the other one that I picked. So, but overall, he's one of the players I enjoy watching in that era. He's always dominant in any game I watch. And just like you mentioned that little video we played or listened to, he stands by his words. He has the confidence. He plays with confidence because of his upbringing, so to speak. So he had the confidence, and that showed in his basketball games.
Yeah, just talking about Alonzo's career in totality, it's unfortunate he had the kidney issue, because I would have loved to have seen how he would have progressed into the 2000s, because 99, it was a career year in a lot of sense.
By the time the kidney issues happened, he was 30. So he had played college ball. So he was not. The tires were already starting to come off. If you look at the stats, that's what I was saying.
That's not for everyone. Some guys have career years in their 30s. So especially these days. I would have loved to have seen him progress, even if he went to New Jersey. And after that, I would have loved to have seen, a continuation of prime Alonzo Mourning.
I wanted to mention this. He is the Vice President of Player Programs and Development for the Heat, and he has had that position kind of the whole time since so he's been winning championships. He was involved in probably getting LeBron James.
Yes, he was.
Yes, development of Chris Bosh and, ironically, Bam Adebayo. So there you go. There's our connection.
That's a fun little nugget.
Yeah, he's always been right next to Pat Riley when it comes to maybe being the next guy to be the GM or whatever position that is.
Yeah, and his memes he's got a lot of great memes, Alonzo Mourning.
Let me just ask this real quick, because I thought I remember this, and it is important to mention with Zoe's career. He was supposed to be traded from New Jersey to the Raptors, right? And then he refused to report. Can you guys shed a little light on that? Because that was a little bit before my time.
Yes, he and this is based off of Wikipedia. So medically he wasn't cleared, so he didn't play.
Okay, I just thought he didn't want to go to Toronto.
No, him kind of coming back in that mid 2000s and getting that championship was a big deal. A big deal for us kids who saw him in early 90s.
It's the equivalent of when Jeff Green went out with that heart stuff.
Yeah. Or Gary Payton. He was also on that team.
Gotcha.
Those guys, all-time guys getting a chip. That's kind of the ultimate chip for that. The 06 team is that. Because who else? Someone else was on it. It was Gary Payton. I think Jason Williams was on it. White Chocolate was on it.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
When you walk around the Miami arena, you hear people calling him Baby Zoe. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wait a minute, huh? And I said, oh, never mind. I see where they're going. Because he works his tail off. And everyone knows Alonzo Mourning is the hardest working Miami Heat ever. So if you get compared to that, ooh, my goodness, you putting in some work.
Ooh, Baby Zoe. Hey, Zoe was a bad boy now.
But remember how hard Zoe would run through a wall.
What?
And they say that's when you watch Bam in practice, after practice, in the weight room, first one to the gym, last one to leave. Before the game, he's out there working. I was like, oh, okay, I see it now. And he's an all-star now because he puts in the work.
All right, so I actually forgot who that was. You know who that was? Lucas or Winston?
For his teammate, I couldn't recognize voice.
I mean, that sounded like KG, but that's not a
It was
teammate.
it was KG and
teammate.
I forget. I did the, ladies and gentlemen. I did the clip. I forgot who it was.
Shame on you, sir. Shame. Absolute shame.
It wasn't Garnett, right? It wasn't Garnett.
No. Garnett was interviewing somebody else.
Okay.
I had to guess it was probably UD.
That could be because they were.
UD does a lot of podcasting stuff.
Yeah, he does.
I'm going to say UD because he was with the squad too.
Yeah, he's been there. He's a lifer. He's a lifer. All right, so let's talk about Bam Adebayo. Drafted in the 2017 NBA draft, the 14th pick by the Miami Heat. His first season was the 2017-2018 NBA season. His coach was Eric Spoelstra. Throughout his whole career, his coach was Eric Spoelstra. His rookie season, he had a record of 44-38. They did make it to the playoffs. They lost to the Sixers in the first round. Let's go over his rookie season teammates. Goran Dragic, Wayne Ellington, UD, Udonis Haslem, Derek Jones Jr., Kelly Olynyk, Josh Richardson, Dion Waiters, Hassan Whiteside, Justice Winslow, and of course, Dwayne Wade. So let's move on to the 2019-2020 season. Now, this was the season that the bubble year. They was Eastern Conference champions. They went to the NBA Finals. They lost 2-4 to the Los Angeles Lakers. So let's go over it real quick. Now, it was a shortened season, so the record was 44-29. Some of the teammates on that season were Jimmy Butler, Jay Crowder, Udonis Haslem.
Udonis Haslem was still collecting AARP checks at that point. That's crazy.
That was his 16th season.
That is crazy. They retired his number yet? They should have.
They should. Yeah, they should. Just for longevity. Andre Iguodala was on that team. I forgot about Iggy.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, we had a rookie Tyler Hero, Kelly Olynyk again, Duncan Robinson, and Dion Waiters. I forgot about Dion Waiters too.
Waiter Island.
Yeah. So that was a championship team. Now, I think this team got to the finals because of chemistry, just being together. Roster-wise, talent-wise, they didn't have the best talent. But Eric Spoelstra got them together to at least, in a bubble atmosphere, contend for a title. That whole season was wonky. Let me ask you guys this question. Who compliments Bam's game the most?
Up to that point or current?
Yeah, up to that point. Now, this is actually a good question because you can go a couple ways with this one.
Oh, that is a good question. I'm going to go the weird way. I'm going to veer left. It's not going to be offensively. It's going to be defensively, and I'm going to say Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
I think him and Jimmy really are 1-2 punch perimeter defense-wise.
That's a good pick. Was Andre Iguodala on that year with them?
Yes.
Yeah, I would go with him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I would throw Tyler Hero in there. Just that offense-defense combination. I mean, Jimmy gave you offense, but Tyler Hero was that scoring threat. He's always been like one of the best shooters, and he can fill it up real quick. So I would throw Tyler Hero in there. Who's won the most games? This is actually a hard one.
Ooh.
Who's won the most games as a teammate with Bam Adebayo? Winston?
I'm going to go with Tyler.
Tyler Hero?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to go with UD because he was there until last year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with UD.
Both of you are wrong.
What?
What? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Then who was it? Jimmy?
No, it was Duncan Robinson.
Wow.
Duncan Robinson won 207 games with Bam.
Wow.
That's crazy.
6 seasons.
You went to the crates with that one, Maurice.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought Duncan Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all.
Wow.
But 207. Jimmy was second with 195. And Tyler Hero was third with 171. All right, so let's move on. Got to give Bam credit. I mean, he was a part of some winning teams. This is the second time the 2022-2023 season they went to the NBA Finals again. They lost, unfortunately, to the Nuggets 4-1, and their record was very similar, 44-38. Once again, coached by Eric Spoelstra. So some of his teammates on that team were, once again, Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Dedman, once again, Udonis Haslem, Hayward Highsmith, Kyle Lowry, Kevin Love, Caleb Martin, Victor Oladipo, Duncan Robinson, and Max Strus.
It's a deep squad.
this was a good squad because they all knew their roles. That playoffs, they beat the Bucks, the Knicks, and the Celtics. You're beating the Boston Celtics a year before they win the championship. You're beating the Knicks. They haven't arrived yet, but they were getting there. And he beat the Bucks in the first round. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Giannis and that's before Dame, but Giannis and Drew Holiday. So let me ask you guys this one: which teammate overall his career so far stands out for Bam Adebayo?
That's a tough one. I mean, the easy answer is Jimmy Butler, right? Because like Jimmy's Jimmy, but I don't know if Jimmy. I don't know if Jimmy's really like made a positive influence outside of winning.
Does he complement his game the most?
Does he complement his game the best? The answer is no. It's not Jimmy. Not offensively. Not both ways. Ugh. The answer here is...
I think there's only one answer. You're overthinking it.
I am. How about... Winston, save me here.
I was going a different direction than the obvious one. I was going Jimmy Butler as well, but...
No, really? I'm not going Jimmy. I'm going to say Tyler Hero. Let me just say Hero.
But however, I will say this too. I remember that playoffs. I can't remember if Caleb Martin was the year he was balling out or not that year with him. So I just can't recall that year.
Yeah, Caleb Martin had a good playoff run. Yeah.
I don't know if it was that year, but that impressed me the most that season, if it was that season we're talking about.
I'm surprised you guys are not going to say D. Wade. Like, just the influence that he's had being Mr. 305, Mr. Miami, Wade County.
I don't think of D. Wade anymore. That's fair. Okay,
Yeah, I mean, he's won the championships. I mean, he's Mr. Miami Heat. So I would think he would have had the most influence and complimented not complimented, but just stood out as just being the biggest influence for Bam Adebayo.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Dwayne Wade. Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah, no, like I can't. You're right. Dwayne Wade. I like. What else do you want me to say? I don't know.
All right. So with that, we can move on to Alonzo Mourning.
Alonzo and I did not hate each other. We hated playing each other, playing against each other because he was going to throw elbows and I was going to throw elbows. You know, people, when we go back to that, people try to say, and I went through this about 2 days ago, I was explaining this. People was trying to say Lonzo and I had a problem in Charlotte. At Charlotte, playing together, Lonzo and I never had a problem. And you talk to Lonzo, he'll tell you this. We never had a problem playing against when we was on the same team. I don't know why Charlotte decided to go different ways and traded both of us. But Lonzo and I, we got along well. We played together well. I think we both had that competitive spirit that we didn't want to lose and we was going to do anything to win. You know, like you said, back in the 90s and 80s, back then, it was a little different game. So it was some elbows being thrown and he got heated and we just got into it. You know, luckily there wasn't no punches landed, so nobody got really, you know, if he'd have hit me, I'd be pissed now to this day. So, you know, that's why, you know, it's probably easier to let the fight go.
All right. That was Larry Johnson talking about Alonzo Mourning and their time together on the show.
I was about to say, I had no idea who that was.
I couldn't think of it.
That was Larry Johnson. You don't know who Grandma Ma is?
Well, I mean, I know who Larry Johnson is. I just didn't know that was him. I never heard him talk before.
Grandma Ma was I'll get into it, but he was a very popular for a short period of time. He had his own commercials like the other superstars. He was one of the power dunkers of that era. All right, so Alonzo Mourning, drafted in the 1992 NBA draft, second overall by the Charlotte Hornets. Let's get into some of his teammates, and we're going to start with that Charlotte team, 1992. They were coached by Alan Bristow. They had a record of 44-38. So they were just a rebuilding team at that point with some young talent. They did get to the second round of the playoffs, though. He lost to the Knicks 4-1. All right, some of his teammates were. These are some blast from the past names. Winston and Uriah might like these. Kendall Gill, Muggsy Bogues, Del Curry.
Yes.
Yes.
Steph's dad.
Yep.
We mentioned Larry Johnson, Grandmama. J.R. Reed. And I think he mentioned him in another episode. David Wingate.
We talked about him before.
Yeah. Also from Georgetown, by the way. This is a rebuilding franchise at this point. I think they were I want to say 3 years from expansion, being an expansion franchise. They weren't that far off. I don't know exact year.
Yeah, I think they started in
89?
89? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so like Larry Johnson said in the clip, you don't know why they broke up that team. I'm going to assume it was financial reasons. With that said, Alonzo Mourning was traded to the Miami Heat in 1995. But I do want to highlight the 1996 season. 1996-1997. I did not realize they had this good of a record. They were 61-21.
Wow. You never think of Charlotte as a good team. No offense.
No, this is Miami.
Oh, Miami. Okay.
Yeah, he was traded to Miami in 95. This is the 96-97. So this was the year the Bulls beat the Utah Jazz, the first one. So yeah, coached by Pat Riley, who went on to be GM, drafted Bam. 61-21, really good record. But with that said, though, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bulls. They lost 4-1. So that's that. Another victim of the Jordan era. Some of his teammates were a rookie Bruce Bowen, P.J. Brown, Tim Hardaway, Sr., Dan Marley, Jamal Mashburn, Ed Pickney, Kurt Thomas, and Vashawn Leonard. All right, so let me ask you guys this question. Who won the most games with Alonzo Mourning as a teammate? I'm going to throw a curveball on this one. Give me an over-under. I'm going to give you the over-under. 185. And you have to give me the over-under and the teammate name. Winston?
185. Say this again for me again.
I'm going to give you one over-under of 185. Did they win more or less than 185? And you have to give me the teammate name.
Oh, that's a tough one. This is a curveball. I'm going to go under for sure with that team. Teammate-wise.
And the player, I mentioned the player, by the way.
For Miami, right?
Yes.
I'm stuck on this one. But I know it's going to be under. Just can't know the teammate. Lucas, chime in for me.
Tim Hardaway Sr.
And over or under?
I'm going to say under, but I don't feel great about it.
Okay. You agree with that, Winston?
I would go with that, but I'm going to stay with under still.
All right, so both of you are right and wrong. It is Tim Hardaway.
But it's over.
Oh, it's over. It's 190.
Okay. That's close, yeah.
You know, Tim Hardaway was a long-time staple of the Heat, so that makes the most sense.
Played 6 seasons with Tim Hardaway from 95 to 01. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the 05-06 season. And this is the 1-1 NBA championship with Shaq and D. Wade. But Alonzo was on that team, too. And he was a champion, too, and it was well-deserved after everything he's been through. He did go to the New Jersey Nets, but altogether he only played 30 games with them because of the kidney illness. And he was traded to the Toronto Raptors, but did not play. Wasn't medically cleared. So after that, Miami brought him back. That's their culture. They bring back their guys. And, he was back up big to Shaq. This team won NBA Finals with a record of 52-30, coached by Stan Van Gundy. They beat the Bulls. They beat I think this was the Baby Bulls. They beat the New Jersey Nets. They beat the Detroit Pistons. And they beat the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals 4-2. That was a nice little run they had it going on right there. Some of their teammates were.
Hold up, you said the coach was Dan Van Gundy? That's not correct. Pat Riley coached that team.
Well, Pat Riley coached.
Okay, he took over.
He took over. Yeah. Because I definitely remember Pat in the finals. Like maybe Stan started off the year, but it was Pat by the end of the year.
Yeah, so that is correct. That's a good grab, Winston. Because Stan Van Gundy was 11-10 as coach.
That was Lucas.
That was me.
We all did like a wait, what?
I mean, look, I appreciate you thinking that I look as handsome as this brother here, but we do not look the same.
All right, so Stan Van Gundy won. He was 11-10, and they brought back Pat Riley. Pat Riley was 41-20. So the influence of Pat Riley and his experience helped them get over the hump. Some of Alonzo Mourning's teammates in his final years with the Miami Heat were Derek Anderson, Shannon Anderson. Once again, he was there. He's like the guy that's always there. Udonis has him. I mentioned Shaquille O'Neal, James Posey, D. Wade, Antoine Walker, Jason Williams.
Shaq was traded, so it was actually Sean Marion, right?
No, Shaq was on the championship team. That was the year after.
Championship. Sorry, I thought we were at the end last. Sorry, continue.
No, it was Shaq. No, Shaq was an important piece of that. Antoine Walker and Gary Payton. Gary Payton finally got his ring. So let me ask you guys this. Who was the perfect role player to play with Alonzo Mourning throughout his career? I'm going to start with Lucas.
Why you always got to start with me? The Udonis Haslem. Just because. Is
that a legitimate answer? Or you just want to say
it is my legitimate answer. You can take it as legitimate or not, sir. I will give it as a legitimate answer.
All right, fair enough. Winston?
I mean, that's a good pick. I mean, he's been there with them, and they do gel together. So, I mean, I would definitely pick that as well. So,
yeah, I got to say Tim Hardaway. Just that
is he a role player though?
Okay, fair enough. He wasn't a role player.
You said role player, so I'm just holding you to that.
No. You're right. Role player. Does P.J. Brown count?
P.J. Brown does count as a role player.
I mean, they played in Charlotte and Miami together, so...
I forgot that he played in Miami. Yeah, you're right. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So, P.J. Brown, perfect compliment, a center, and a rebounding power forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I do want to ask, though, and Uriah can put his thumbs up, thumbs down. Can we do a Udonis Haslem episode comp? I'm thinking maybe Sam Perkins or somebody like that.
Another Iron Man of a team.
Another Iron Man. Yep. See, we got to do UD one now. We'll figure it out. Well, technically, it has to be a current player, but we'll figure it out. Maybe Udonis is now officially retired.
Maybe UD and Robert Parrish.
No. It has to be a current player because UD's retired. So we can't use him anymore.
I forgot he was retired. Yeah.
So we got to find somebody else that's been like with a franchise for a long time, but has been like a role player. So yeah,
cool.
But we'll figure that out later.
No, we'll figure it out later. All right, so to wrap this up for the teammates, any other teammates stood out to you guys? The general question: any teammates?
James Posey is clutch for winning championships. Just saying. He won one in Miami, one in Boston in the span of like 3 years. So, like, shout out to James Posey. Honestly, he would thrive in today's NBA.
Okay. Winston?
Since he played with a lot of players on that team, I mean, to me, he stood out a lot by himself, but together with another player, it's hard for me to just pick just one because he gelled with so many players on that team. I just like to see him play how he was playing back then with all the teams he played with, Charlotte, Miami. He played with different players. They all just gel with them as a player.
Can't get away with that, man. You got to pick one.
Pick one?
You got to pick one.
All right. Give me that year, Maurice. Give me that year then.
Well, I highlighted 92-93 Charlotte Hornets, 96-97 Miami Heat, and 05-06 Miami Heat.
I'm going to go with PJ.
You know what, PJ Brown as well?
Yes. Did Lucas pick PJ too, or?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
That's fine.
No, I said James Posey, but you chose PJ Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm okay with PJ Brown. I love me some PJ Brown too.
Yeah, I also, like I mentioned earlier, Larry Johnson. And then they went on to play against each other because Larry Johnson went to the Knicks.
Mm-hmm. Larry
Johnson, man, he was a borderline superstar player for like a short amount of time. Like Grandma Mom was like, I think he was on an episode of Family Matters. He was dunking on Urkel or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, shout out Larry Johnson. I like Larry Johnson. He has his own shoe too. He has his own shoe too. I'm getting old. I'm old. All right. Anyway, with that said, we're going to wrap it up.
Now that we've given you all the facts on Bam Adebayo and Alonzo Mourning, it's time for you to make your case.
At this point, it's not about our opinion. It's about yours. We'll see you on your favorite social media platform, ready to check out your takes. Chime in on our Instagram at NBA_now_and_then_pod, on X at NBA_now_and_then, and don't forget our YouTube and Facebook pages, NBA Now and Then.
For the sources of information used in this episode, you can visit our website, www.nbanowandthen.com. Also, visit our website to sign up for our monthly newsletter and check out our comparison articles.
Don't forget that you can follow the NBA stars we featured on today's episode through their social medias.
You can follow Bam Adebayo on X and Instagram at Bam1of1. And you can follow Alonzo Mourning on X and Instagram at IamZo33.
Okay, guys, until next time, this has been NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons. Peace.
Have a good day, guys.
See ya.
Yeah, he was on the Tokyo team.
Oh, right.
He's
Okay.
a two-time gold medalist.
I was right.
Yeah, you're right. Lucas? I mean, that was it.
I was about to say, I don't know what you want me to say.
All right.